Family, this is Relentless Aaron. I'm at the mic. You're listening to Relentless Radio. And today I go all the way in. Media Mayhem, that's been the name of this series, where I've shared information and resources relating to writing, to imaging, to sound, and to video. Folks, let me tell you, and video is going to be, I'm going to lean in on video in this podcast. Folks, let me tell you that as conscious consumers, if you've been watching the web and social media today, you realize what we all realize, is that the people who have control of editing, of words, and of images, and of sound, and of video are able to convey their message to their tribe, to their family, to their friends, to their organization, to their community, to their congregation. They're able to do it more effectively and more efficiently. So you've got to have all four areas covered: your written word, your imaging, your audio, and your video. Your written, your imaging, and your audio need to catch up with and match with your video. And your video can't be any less thorough than your writing, than your audio, and then your imaging. So folks, I'm here as your media mogul. Been doing media for a long time. I came out of high school and went straight into video. I was trained to produce TV shows, and I then took it to another level and had a magazine. In the meantime, I learned to produce live shows, which I've been doing since age 18, 19. One of my first business partners was Russell Simmons. My information is out there. You can learn more about me at relentlessaaron.net. But in the meantime, there's no greater vet in media than yours truly. A lot of people that by default have fallen into the various forms of media did so with their popularity, and I give them that. You know, the king of media, the queen of media, I give them all of that. But no one has done it to the degree that I've done it, with all of the novels and books that I've written and have taken global, and the notoriety behind it, to the different variables of media. If you can wake up and you can write a book, if you can wake up and you can publish a book, if you can wake up and you can do photography and do imaging and do graphics design and do logos and build websites, if you can wake up and create podcasts from scratch, that means the music score, that means the editing, that means the delivery and the marketing of the same thing. If you can wake up and produce video, that means organizing and planning it and editing it and shooting it and editing it and importing the sound and the bed and the graphics and the green screening. And if you can do all of that and you can market it all and you can be globally renowned for the same thing, then I give you your props. I'm going to sit down and shut up. But for the meantime, because I know that's not the case, I'm going to hold the crown in that regard, and I'm going to share my resources with the world, because I am all about that open source. I am all about that open source energy. God blesses the child who's got his own, and God has blessed me well. And so I'm here to share that media mayhem with you in this podcast we call Media Mayhem. So this is the last of the series, at least this go round. We talked about the writing, we talked about the imaging, we talked about the podcast, and today we're talking about the video. But let me go do an overview of it all. The writing, folks, when you're writing, you've got to learn how to do voice to text. If you don't have a phone that does voice to text, I don't know what you're doing in media or in business. I don't know why you have a business if you're not doing voice to text. If you're not sending text messages by voice, if you're not writing essays and reports by voice, I don't know what you are doing. If you are an author and you are not yet acclimated to writing your books by voice, then I'm sure you're on your way. But I'm here to tell you that this is the be-all to end-all in publishing. I love the written word. I love to put pen to paper. I have loads of paper, loads of pads. I adore. That's how I started. I wrote 30 books and I did it on line paper, and came to the forefront of the publishing industry by dropping a book a week or a book a month, and then landing the biggest publishing deal for a debut author, where they gave me $250,000 for a 14-book deal. On top of that, there was the 50-cent deal for another $25,000 plus points. There was film deals after that. Folks, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm here to tell you that voice to text is the big win. Get it done. They're already forcing you to do it with Siri, so get it done. Get it right. Be efficient at it, and share your message, share your joy, share your energy. As far as imaging, folks, the camera and the cell phone are one now. They've made this camera so phenomenal that you could do everything from depth to field to close-up 360-degree, panoramic, slow motion. You could do all of that creative stuff with your cell phone, and then you can go ahead and edit it. So with the slideshows going on, with the filters going on, you have got to have those resources, Every time I tell somebody about a new app, they ask me, "Oh, does it cost anything?" Yes, it costs something. If the app costs $3, pay the $3, get the feature, and make yourself shine. Make it happen. All right? So in writing, you have a regular integral app, which is your voice to text. It comes on all the cell phones now. But there's also other writing apps that help you, and I'm going to share them in the comments. You'll have the links to these platforms. But in the imaging, you have different filters. There's different apps that have been extremely helpful where it relates to sharing images. Instagram has great filters that come with the program, but I bought into Prisma. I bought into Udoodle. I bought into Toon Camera. I bought into Canva. I bought into Canva, that's Canva. I bought into Aviary, Aviary, if you want to flip photos around. There's other image apps that you must have. Cartoon video. There's certain especially the app that does the best for me that I find myself using every day is WordSwag. Okay? And then you have the Pages, and then you have Keynote, and all these apps come on your phone. You need to use them to create your images, to get your information out there to your audience, to your tribe, to your community, on your mission. Okay? Next is podcasting. Folks, I'm producing this podcast purposely on my cell phone, but I have the Blue mic. I have the laptop, the MacBook, the cameras, the micro recorders. I have the lavaliers. I have all of that stuff so that I could close myself in a studio and deliver. But I'm doing it with iTalk. iTalk is the app that comes on the iPhone, and then there's other apps on the Android. Not too familiar with them because I don't do Android. I'm not doing Android. I can't be talked into that either. Now, I might have an Android device, but it rides second to Apple products. So I'm here to say that the podcasts, once produced, once your voice is recorded onto iTalk, then you can go ahead and import that into Audacity. You've got to have Audacity if you're a podcaster. It is a must. It helps you slice and dice and add effects to your podcasts. You've got to have Audacity. Audacity is free. You download it for both devices, for all of your devices. I don't even know if they have it for the phones yet. I'm going to download it today and see if they have it for the phone. I'm pretty sure they do, and if they do, it's probably paid. But it's free for your computer if you download it to your PC. or your Mac environment. So get your Audacity, get your podcast right. Go ahead and buy in to some of the platforms or one of the platforms that allow you to upload the sounds, the audio, the podcasts. Personally, I use Spreaker. Spreaker. It's a tough brand. It was a tough brand to push, but they've tried so many other brands, and there are brands that have come alive, so why not? So Spreaker is my platform of choice that I pay monthly or yearly for their for the ability to upload 3-hour shows if I want to, but check out that platform and see that if that's for you. If you do upload to Spreaker, you'll have the ability also, if you do it consistently, you'll be able to get on iTunes, and you'll be able to get on iHeartRadio and some other platforms that recognize voices. And that's where you want to be if you're a business owner. If you're a business owner who's claiming that you master your craft, folks, you've got to have this media in place. Finally, video is what I've mastered for a long time, so I'm efficient with speaking on it. Folks, I've dealt with all sorts of video production programs, antiquated video production platforms, Toaster, Avid, all that stuff. I used to deal with video when we used cassette tape. And I'm telling you that you can, not only can you produce video with your cell phone, but you can now edit on your cell phone. But for my editing of choice, outside of the cell phone environment, is ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is a god amongst gods. There are two platforms that I love to use to produce video, and Filmora is one and ScreenFlow is the other. If there's a top one, I would say ScreenFlow. I know Premiere Pro. I know all of these video production softwares, and I'm telling you that ScreenFlow is the move. It helps you to in quick order, if you have great RAM, helps you to import and export, cut, slice, dice, special effects on video. Of course, I use ScreenFlow in concert with all the other platforms. I create in After Effects, I create in Premiere Pro, I create in Filmora, I create even in iMovie. I create in any of these platforms depending on the budget involved and the time that I have to create it. You can now also create, they have an iMovie on your cell phone. So folks, for sure, ScreenFlow not only enables me to create video for the sake of having video, but it also enables me to create my podcasts. It also helps to create video for cell phone and for tablet and for YouTube and all of the different devices, even as big as a large screen. It will output large size video. And so those are the platforms. You're going to either learn them or have somebody that you're going to have to pay somebody, or you have somebody in your family or in your tribe to administer these applications. But from me to you, when it comes to producing media, ScreenFlow is always open on my desktop. It also does screen capture, and it will capture imaging from your cell phone. You can literally set your cell phone up, and it will record whatever is on your cell phone, the audio and the video. Folks, this is it's a major time. It's a time that these devices weren't available 10, 20 years ago. They've evolved to give you, for the least amount of money, the most resources. I have an entire production in my hands when I hold this phone, an entire production company, a media production company. But ultimately it takes the knowledge and the experience and the acumen to make it work and to make it happen, and then to market it all. So I think I'm probably going to end up doing a series called Marketing Mayhem, so that we cover social media and we cover street marketing and we cover traditional media, and I talk about all the ways and means that I became famous and popular in media and how I did it. So I do have a book coming out called I Did It, You Can Too, which will embrace all of what I've done to give it as a gift to the world. But I do appreciate you hanging in there on this series. I promise you in the show notes, there's going to be a whole page devoted to this series, and I'm going to have them on my website. You'll be able to go to relentlessaaron.net within days, and it's all going to be arranged on a page so eloquently that you could just tap and download the audio or watch it, listen to it from your car. All of the resources will be listed for cell phone users and for desktop. I promise I'll get that out to you, but I got to get cracking. There's money to be made. There's things that I have to do. There's clients I have to serve. So I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. Media Mayhem 2017. We did it. I love you, my sister Julie on the West Coast. I did this for Julie so that she can be aware of all that's going on in media, and she can up the ante in her business and in her life. God bless you all. Relentless Aaron on the mic, out.
I read Relentless Aaron's books. One of my friends in Houston was actually working promotions for Aaron. She was walking around the mall with no clothes on, and I wondered why. But when she started telling me about the books, I was like, I've got to read this. When I read it, it was a mix of an Eric Jerome Dickey Sister Soldier sort of thing that was so raw and real and talented in a way that was definitely, the words jumped off the page and wrapped me up in the story to the point where I couldn't put it down until I finished all the reading that I had to do. I mean, he's dynamic, he's awesome. If you don't have his books, you need to get his books. If you're tired of every other black author that's telling you the same story, you need his books.
Relentless Radio.